G'day guys, welcome to my RXY's feature video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about NRL preseason trials recap for 2020 guys, so let's get started. So the first match of this game, we see the Eels going up against the Rabbitohs. Now, this game was an absolutely great game. The Eels put on a lot of pressure, and I could say that this game was absolutely pretty awesome. But really what I can say about this match, it took a lot of time and effort to reconcede that a couple of tries were really conceded. But then I think a lot of these things would really happen. But for the Eels though, they are a very developing team, which I think that a couple of the players from the lower grade came into the squad and redeveloped pretty well. But it's a matter of time that if you want to reconcede so much energy and so much power and speed, you really want to defy how the way you want to have that time and energy. But for the Eels though, they played a very good match, and up against the Rabbitohs, I just really concede that Corey Allen didn't play a very good game. But as fullback, he doesn't suit the fullback side. He's like a number 2 or a number 5. But it's just not on. You can't have someone that he's not very speedless, but then he doesn't really concede the ball. But I like how the way that this game was an absolutely great game. Michael Jennings had a lot of energy and fight, but I like how the way Oregon Kafusi scored, Maratani Kore scored, and Hayes Dunster scored too. He is a development player too, which he is coming to that squad. Hayes Dunster is probably from the Canterbury Cup, which he is probably coming into this squad and redeveloping. But I think, for instance, also Carl Snyder has redeveloped too. He is an absolute great player, and I like how the way he brings him into that squad, and he is an absolute fabulous player to watch. But it was a 28 points to 24 scoreline, and unfortunately Rabbitohs obviously won that game. I really thought that the Eels were winning that game, but they didn't, so the Rabbitohs obviously did anyway. The next game of this round, we see the Burleigh Bears going up against the Gold Coast Titans. Now, this game was absolutely pretty cool. I like how the way Burleigh Bears are a very good team. Curtis Rowe, I think he scored 2 tries, where the other one only scored 1. But he is a very developing player, which I really like, and he is a very good player, which he stands out pretty well. But also too, I thought, for instance, where I think he played for the New South Wales Canterbury Cup, but I think he moved on to the Queensland Cup because I think he played for the Tigers, but then he moved on to play for the Burleigh Bears anyway. But also too, I just think how the way Titans are a very good team. They just brought that fight into that squad, and I cannot believe how the way it goes. It's a very good team, but it's certainly one of those days that it gets to that tension, and then obviously it brings to that good squad. But for the Titans though, Jonas Pearson and Dale Copley, those two were the only ones that scored for experience, and Sexton scored too. But really what I can say about this match, absolutely clearless. Titans are not winning a lot of games, but they need to stand out pretty more. They're not a team that just keeps playing and then they bring things hard. They've got to have that energy, they've got to have that fight, and they've got to have that really good courtesy about how the way they want to win games. But also too, I like how the way Burleigh Bears are a very experienced team. They've gotten very good players, which I think if they don't have any players, they just keep rolling into them. But it was an 18 points to 16 scoreline, and well done to the Burleigh Bears for winning that game anyway by 2 points. The next game of this round, we see the Wyndham Manly Seagulls going up against the Brisbane Broncos. Now, this game certainly was an absolutely great game. I like how the way they are a very good team, but it's just comes to my attention that it certainly goes into that factor that Wyndham Manly Seagulls are a very good club, but they're a very experienced team that where some clubs don't really have that energy, but certainly for the Seagulls are a very good club. But for the Broncos, I like how the way they just get that energy and then obviously bring to that side a very good side. But I don't think Darius Boyd is a very experienced player where he just doesn't do much, but he certainly brings to that fight and attention. But also too, it was a 16 points to 12 scoreline. I just certainly cannot believe that it was a very great game to watch, but it's just not a very good idea that Wyndham Manly Seagulls win that game, only because Broncos are a very experienced team, but then you obviously got Seagulls, which are the Queensland Cup, and going up against that, it's just kind of like a mix. But then say for instance, like you go up against like Wyndham Manly Seagulls and then North Sydney Bears. That's two different sides, which that means North Sydney Bears are New South Wales Cup and Burleigh Bears are the Queensland Cup. But certainly it goes for that mix. And I like how the way that this team brings to that squad, and it's just a very tight team to say that you're going to beat or you're going to lose. But I don't know about that. But it was a 16 points to 12 scoreline, and well done to Wyndham Manly Seagulls for winning this game anyway. The next game of this round, we see the Warriors going up against the Melbourne Storm. This team is a very good squad, but I cannot believe that if this team can be a lot of attention, a lot of fight, I'm not too sure. But Warriors are a very good team, which they can develop pretty well and they can lose a couple of games. But I'm not too sure how the way it goes on with the Warriors not conceding a lot of points. But it's just how the way it goes for that club, and it certainly goes how the way you want to score some points. But it's just how the matter is, how the matter of time, and it obviously goes for that club. Certainly, I like how the way this team are a very good team. Chanel Harris-DeVito scored, and I cannot remember the other one. But Chris Johns, I think, and Shandell Earl scored, and I can't remember who the other one was, but certainly the other ones scored, but I'm not too sure. It was an 18 points to 16 scoreline, and certainly this game was an absolutely great game because Shandell Earl it's a very experienced player for him. He was on Entertain House's video. Go check out Entertain House's video. It's pretty much a great video that he loves and gets to experience it. It's his first video anyway. But anyway, let's move on to this game. And certainly Chandler Earl is an experienced player, which he brings into that squad and certainly carries that a lot of attention and spirit. But I like how the way Chandler Earl is a great player, but then certainly doesn't do as much speed as Josh Adokar does. But it's a matter of time if you want to lose or win a game, but it doesn't really matter. But it was an 18 points to 16 scoreline, and good luck. No, well done to the Melbourne Storm anyway for winning that game anyway. The next game of this round, we see the Newcastle Knights going up against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. This team is an absolutely great team. Newcastle Knights didn't really improve very well, but I think Huth and Randall, scored only those two tries to make it 12 points. 38 points went to Dragons anyway, which it was 38 points to 12, that scoreline. Jordan Ferreira scored 4 tries, which was an absolute hat-trick. but certainly Michaeli Revelala scored. Can't remember who the other one was, but it was a certain scoreline for these type of players. And really, what I can say about this team, absolutely clearless. They are coming on top, and I just think how the way they put on a lot of pressure and fight, absolutely crazy. And I just like how the way this team goes on with that pressure. It's a very good opportunity, and Dragons are a very good club because they are a development team, but sometimes they can struggle a bit, but then they come back and obviously grab that certain ball of fight and energy, and then obviously win games, win comps, obviously win couple of games anyway. But really what I can say about this match, absolutely a very good game it was, but not a very good game for the Newcastle Knights. I don't think Mitchell Pearce didn't play very well also too. I reckon that Tex Hoy is a very good experienced player, which he is playing, I think, for number 6 maybe. I got told about that. I got a little rumour saying that Tex Hoy might be going into number 6 squad for the Newcastle Knights. But then Kalen Ponga might go into that number 1 squad anyway. Like number 1 for the fullback anyway. But it was a 38 points to 12 scoreline, and well done for the Dragons for making that win anyway. The next game of this round, we see the Cronulla Sharks going up against the Bulldogs. Now, this game was an absolutely great game. It was in PNG, which was up north, right next to the Northern Territory or Queensland area. But really what I can say about this match, absolutely, the Sharks just didn't really play as much very well. William Kennedy, I heard that he is going to probably go to the Sharks. I heard that he is a very good player, and I cannot believe that he has scored a try for the Cronulla Sharks anyway. But Chad Townsend didn't play for number 7 anyway, which I probably got very tempered by, because he is a great player also too. Joe Stimson has obviously kicked goals for this Bulldogs club anyway. And Dylan Napa has scored for this team, which he is a very good player also too for the forwards. Matt Harper, I think that's his name. He scored. What I can say about this club for the Bulldogs, they are a very good team. I like how the way that Bulldogs can put a lot of pressure, and they can certainly have a great game. But I don't think Nick Meaney and Remus Smith played for this club at the moment. I don't think. I may think that Remus Smith has played for that game, but I don't think Nick Meaney has. But yeah, all I got told was it was a very good game, and I certainly think that this game was an absolutely brilliant match. But really what I can say about this match, certainly Bulldogs just came out with a lot of fight, and I cannot believe they won up against the Cronulla Sharks, which absolutely brings tears to my eyes, but it just was an absolutely great game. But it was a 30 points to 18 scoreline, and I cannot believe that this game certainly was an absolutely great match for the Bulldogs anyway. The next game of this round, we see the Panthers going up against the West Tigers. Now, this game was just poor effort from the Tigers, but certainly a great effort from the Panthers anyway, which I cannot believe that without Viliami Kikau, Nathan Cleary, and Upside Coruscant, this game just took it to a new level, and it doesn't really matter who plays what and who plays who. But certainly for the Panthers, they just tried very hard, and they just gotten over with. And I just think how the way this team obviously goes by, and how the way they develop pretty much very well. They try their best, they try very hard, and they certainly concede a lot of points. But it was a 32 points to 4 scoreline, and absolute poor effort from the Tigers. But certainly a great effort from the Panthers anyway. But who I can say was an absolutely great highlight for that game was Brent Nathan. He is an absolute number 4 great player, and conceding these points is what you want. But definitely, this game can be a very good game, but then certainly the Panthers can put a lot of pressure up against like different clubs. But Brent Nathan and I could say someone else, but I can't remember who actually. But really what I can say about this match is absolutely great game, and I cannot believe that the Panthers are just one of the most developing clubs, which I can say without Nathan Cleary, Viliami Kikau, Apasai Carousel, they still conceded points, and I cannot believe that this game certainly was an absolutely great match to watch. And I could not say anything better to myself, but it was a 32 points to 4 scoreline, and well done the Panthers for making that effort anyway. And finally, the next game of this round, we see the Cowboys going up against the Broncos. Now, this game was an absolutely great match, certainly took it to a new level. Cowboys are a very developing club, which I cannot believe that sometimes it gets to that stage where Cowboys can put on a lot of pressure. One of those days it can be a very tight match, but with this effort up against like certain clubs, it's just how the way that you want to play certain different games of football, but it's going to that stage where this match can be a very tight match, and then it certainly can put on a lot of pressure. But for the Cowboys, Ruben Cotter, I think, scored 2 or 1 tries, which very conceded was an absolutely great match. Excuse me, but when Broncos come out firing, I cannot believe that Jesse Arthur scored 2 tries and Anthony Milford only scored 1. But it was an 18 points to 16 scoreline, and I cannot believe that the Cowboys obviously won this game for sure. But really what I can say about this match, certainly took it to a new level. Cowboys are a very developing average team, which certainly defies whether or not like different players come into that squad, or if injured players come into that squad, they still put on a lot of points, but then they certainly like come up firing and make the job done. But they obviously did, because they obviously won by 2 points, and certainly they are a very developing club, which I cannot believe that this team can obviously come out firing, but then I cannot believe that Cowboys are a very good team, but which Valentine Holmes is coming into that squad, and he is just an absolutely great player. But it was an 18 points to 16 scoreline, and yeah, well done to the Cowboys for making that effort anyway. Thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. We'll be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, take care guys, stay safe, and have a good one.